Okay, so part three, part three, part three. Using my past, I went to school and missed one day in the country of Jamaica. Due to an incident that I had, I missed one day. I would like for my children to have the same amount of days missing. That's the lie told. In order for my children to have the same amount of days missed, they must truly be sick. They must truly be sick. When my son or my child wakes up and say they are not feeling well, I speak to my security. Through Life Focus, he takes their physical body temperature. He tells me they're over 98 degrees hot, like their temperature is completely flared up. I said, okay, is it possible to watch them until 8 a.m. in order to see if they're well enough to go? By 7:30, he calls me. Natalia's temperature has dropped to 67 degrees Celsius. She's okay to go to school. I pack up Natalia. I send Natalia to school. He redoes Antonio's internal temperature. It has now reached anywhere from 102 to 115 degrees. I keep Antonio home. I walk with Natalia to school in the mornings, and I report Antonio absent, and then I go back. I inform Antonio that I reported him absent. I inform him that he's been reported, and then I usually go and still do what I would be doing. I just make sure that I'm home within the hour due to the fact that he has a fever of 102 degrees to 115 degrees Fahrenheit. I go do it quickly. I get the permission to go do it quickly. I get what I have to get done. I get back, and by that time, his body temperature is back down to 67 degrees Celsius in 1 hour wear. 4 hours it takes for my children's body to get back to internal temperature degree. 4 hours. That's how I know when my children are truly sick and when a medical device has not been used in order to create falsification that my child is really not sick. 4 hours. And technically for my son, due to the fact that he's a boy, obviously, it takes a lot longer for a boy's body to regain consciousness and get back down to the internal temperature of 67 degrees Celsius to say that you are alive and not dead. If you are anywhere less at 67 degree internal temperature, trust me, you're dying. You're physically dying. If you are at even 66%, 66 degrees, you're physically dying. 67%, your internal body temperature must be at 67% in order to be living as an actual human being. It must be at 67. Anything higher, you have the potential to be COVID or any disease out there. You have the potential to be of that carrier of the disease, which is why folks like us are attacked.
Okay, whatever. I'll stop being cautious.
Let's go back to as of today, February 19th, 2021. I am declaring that my children will not be attempted to be taken out of school except for a doctor's appointment. I wrote that down and the kidnapping stopped.
You're like my sister. She'll get something hot. And then she'll be like,
did.
it's a lot. I'm like, yeah.
February 19th, 2021, the kidnapping stopped. Any days missed will be declared a day of attempted kidnapping, and mother needed to keep kids home for safety reasons. Never had to use that, ever. Never had to use the kidnapping in order for me to keep my kids home. Not once after February 19th, when the schools reopened, did I have to keep my children home. Not once. Ever. Kids must remain on school property at all times. They're not, even though we live back to back to the school, they're not allowed home. Due to the kidnapping events that took place, the kids are not allowed to leave the school property in order for their internal body functions to be read to say that they are on the school property and they have not been removed. Not by me or not by anyone else. The kids do not have, and it's the same thing for their entire schooling career. They will never be allowed to leave school property from the first day of school all the way until the last. They must stay on school property, i.e. why children must be able to bring lunch to school every single day so that they can stay on school property without having the need to go outside to buy food ever. Even in high school, they must stay on school property, even though they are of the age where they can decide on whether or not they want to go, due to the incidents that I have struggled with within 2 years of living in this area, with all the lies, all because of a silk press gone wrong, with her hair now falling out after 2 days of receiving the silk press. My children must stay on the property in order to continue to stay safe. Of which I have said, no coming home for lunch allowed. Lunch will be packed and sent to school promptly each day. I wake up at 5 to 6 a.m. in the morning each day, and I have no reasons to not be able to cook a warm lunch for my child without being harassed or bothered that they are not eating too much or well. It's up to my children on whether or not they want to eat the food. As long as I know that I packed the food and I share it via YouTube in order to show that I do cook and I do serve them lunch every single day, I'm fine. And I will continue to do that starting now. Children should eat. It allows their brain to grow and develop properly when they have a proper nutrition from home. Someone tried to tell me to say that children should not eat and they should not have a proper nutrition. I said to that person then, how is it that I am now a grown adult even though I chose not to eat certain foods? How is it that I'm a grown adult? How is it that half the world is a grown adult? How is it that a third of the people sitting in Tim Hortons, or almost all the people sitting at the Tim Hortons where I'm at today, are grown adults, and yet they never had proper nutrition? How is it that half the world is a grown adult? How is it that a third of the people sitting in Tim Hortons where I'm at today are grown adults, and yet they never had proper nutrition? How is it that
his
They never ate. They starved.
great because he's basically sponsoring people here and
How's that possible? How is it possible that the folks in here at Tim Hortons are as old as they are?
and this guy like sent $500.
How is it that they are as old as they are and they've never had a proper nutrition and they've never been fed?
But when it comes to his own account,
Where does that lie come into play?
they're telling me to lie because I'm like,
You tried to play me, but I never believed you, not for one
he'll
second.
manage for the house. Like, you spoiled him.
Last case in point, the better you eat is the better prepared for society that you become starting from the very beginning. That's it. That's everything that I have been sharing from 2020 February up until now that has happened.
He tries to do it
All over a silk press with the woman's hair falling the fuck out.
but it's like,
Bye,
yeah, when it
bitch.
comes to your after